God damn, bro. Let me just get something off my chest, man. Like, we're getting so cooked to the point where, you know, man, there are so many layers deep to all this. It's insane to me. Bro, listen, for, and I'm gonna admit right now that all this stuff has infected me a little bit, which is why I'm all of a sudden kind of feeling some type of way about it and feel the need to just get it off my chest because I really need to. Can we just stop supporting and listening to all of these talking heads out here, these insufferable little Nepo babies, these now aging content creators that aren't actually making content anymore? They're basically grifting off of one another and eating each other alive for the sake of views and clout and drama bait to fund their obsession with, I don't know, I guess being the 1%, apparently, while also talking down to everybody and acting as though that they're paragons of virtue and altruism. They're not. These people are not, okay? When you give $5 to a content creator for a sub or some support, or blah, 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 you are working your ass off for whatever amount of money you have to fund the narcissism of somebody who's never worked a hard day in their life. Should I start naming names? Man, I can name names until I'm blue in the fucking face. Okay? Mr. fucking Dog Shaka or Pretty Little Pokemon. Oh, Jesus Christ. Like the overwhelming amounts of cringe coming out of all these people and people that I can't even mention because it slips my mind, or I don't even really necessarily want to even talk about these fucking people. I don't want to mention their names, give them any attention or any exposure. These people, I don't follow them. I don't. I will never follow them. I don't think that they have anything meaningful to say. They've been babbling into their microphones for over a decade now, being platformed off of the back of either being pretty or being a fucking Nepo baby or having the right connections of some kind. Wow, amazing. What a talent. But show me your actual resume. What are your list of accomplishments? Do you know how to cook? Do you know how to clean up after yourself? Do you do any of these things? Do these people actually clean their own toilets and bathtubs? Do they do their own laundry? Do they know how to do anything like practical? If their cars break down, can they fix it? Probably not. Oh, they have enough money that they're not going to worry about breakdowns, because things like that don't happen to them because they're impervious to the everyday plight of the modern peasant. All these brokies and poor boys. Just get prettier, get richer, and then your life will be better suddenly, right? I mean, life hack, life hack, life hack. Like and subscribe. Holy shit! Like the simplest and easiest and effective way to get these people off the airwaves is to not tune in, not clip farm them, make something a little bit more meaningful. Do not contribute to the toxic cesspool, and don't add your own sludge into an already overflowing pile of sludge. I don't personally follow these people. I haven't followed them for years because all it took was an hour, maybe, to figure out that these people are just being performative. They're fake as fuck. They're clip farming, view farming, doing all that nasty, toxic, nonsensical bullshit. And they don't actually have any real talent. They're going to age like bread, and their content is already moldy. Already. So, why in the world can the folks that follow these people consider themselves well-adjusted, rational people? No, the problem is they just want friends. And the parasocialism is greater than rationality and common sense. And we're not really getting any better. We're becoming more and more disconnected and over reliant on all of these little technological feats and marvels that have made our lives so cushy that the main concern that most people have these days, right? Most people is not being bored, satiating boredom, finding new content to consume, or to, be as overstimulated as possible to create some sort of veneer that you're doing so much, you're juggling so much, you're multitasking so much, but you're not really. You're really not. You're layering static on top of static on top of static and then pretending like you're doing something. That is the ultimate form of self-gaslighting. These people are not your friends, okay? I'm creating content basically to up my own skills, okay? And to possibly meet some interesting and fun and down-to-earth people along the way. That's my whole goal. I'm not sitting there with my hand out saying, hey, you got a sub, check out this content, I've got a line of merch coming, oh, check out my new fragrance coming next summer. Like, bro, none of that extra nonsense. If you're not a chemical engineer, you shouldn't be making chemicals, okay? It's pretty simple. If you don't know how to build a house, you shouldn't be designing one. If you don't have any skills in a kitchen, why the fuck do you have a cookbook? It's insane. Like, I cannot understand how there are so many people looking for escapism, but yet they're catering to all of these absolutely insufferable and completely mentally dysfunctional, socially awkward, entitled, turbo cringe lords, and actively giving them money, platforming them so they can buy a whole bunch of jewelry, cars, and expensive homes, go on expensive trips, and, glad handing people in the streets just for clout, blah, 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 another clippable viral moment. You give them your hard-earned money, and then they turn around, buy luxurious bullshit, and flex your own money back at you. Are you okay with that? Are you okay with giving somebody who you don't know at all, who you know is being performative, or you have a suspicion? And, when you meet somebody in real life and you sense that they're kind of putting on an act, that's essentially what's happening here. The only difference is they have their own like little enclosed bubble that they broadcast themselves from, and then you buy into it and say, oh, this person's pretty enough, so they can take my $5. They're pretty, and they're telling it like it is, when the fact of the matter is that they're basically throwing a mild tantrum in front of their overpriced expensive gear that you paid for. By the way, let's not forget that part. That's a really important part, okay? If you're funding a project or you're backing something, look at Ashes of Creation. People were glazing the shit out of that game for over a decade, and look at how that turned out. People that swore that it was going to change the MMO community, it was going to redefine gaming in some meaningful way. Wow. Turns out it was a giant fucking grift at the end of the day. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that wild to think? Jesus, man. Can we just wake the fuck up, please? Can we just get out of this like eating your own tail trend and stop platforming dumb fucking people with no real ideas, no solutions to any problems? They just constantly backpedal, shift, deflect, and throw fucking childish tantrums in front of their equipment, call themselves a content creator, grift for all of your money, and then flex it back in your face, and then smile and giggle about it. Shit. I'm just a content creator, by the way. I'm not asking for anything. Nope. If you want to look at me as your friend, I mean, We have to have a dialogue first. But if all it takes to consider me a friend is for me to respect you, well, then you've got to come in here respecting me first. That's the give and take that goes with all of this. So please, please have some dignity, have some self-respect, and don't give these people money anymore. Don't even give it to me. I don't deserve it yet. My content is shit right now. I'm learning, okay? It's going to take me months, if not years, to get to a comfortable place for myself personally. And I'm very well aware of that. And I'm never going to sit there and proclaim that, oh, you're just hating. You're just hating. No, 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 no. I know. I know. I have a good voice. That's one of my assets. If I can rant and talk and say a whole bunch of stuff that, you know, people can resonate with and understand and find meaningful, awesome. I love it. I love it. But if there's more than that behind the scenes, it's up to me whether or not I want to share it, right? And just like these content creators, they're all living behind veneer, okay? And I cannot stress enough, no matter how much money you donate to anybody, they are not your friends. You can't buy friendship that way. I'm really sorry to have to tell you that. It probably hurts inside to hear something so sharp and shatters the crazy illusion that you build up for yourself with your 15 tabs of different streamers and content creators open at any given time, bouncing from chat to chat, spamming your emotes, blah blah blah, contribute to the hype train. There are genuine creators out there. There are. I'm not saying that being genuine is the barrier to entry, but when you're being disingenuous, how are so many people being fooled by it? Why are the most popular people some of the fakest? There's really only a small subset of extremely popular content creators that come off actually genuine, that aren't pushing a grift or selling you something or pretending to be your friend for the sake of, I don't know, money at the very minimum. You worked hard for your money. Keep it. Spend it on something actually useful. These people are exploiting you, and you are letting them. You're volunteering to be exploited at that point. I can't help that. I really can't. I have enough common sense to know that if I don't like a content creator, I'm not going to follow them. I'm not going to show up in their chats. I'm not going to comment on their videos. I'm not even going to watch their videos. They're not going to get a viewer click from me. Not even that much. Not to farm content for myself. You simply do not give them the attention that they are yearning for, craving it. They're addicted to it. That's the modern day junkie. The social media junkie. The internet junkie. That's what it is. And I want humanity to regain some of their self-respect, ultimately. I do. I want people to be smarter. I don't want to have to bat away static or be so completely jaded and cynical to the point where I don't trust any content creator at all, and I don't trust any journalist, and I don't trust any reports or articles or even scholarly works. I'll be skeptical because I don't know, was this generated by AI? People can't even communicate anymore. They're so disenfranchised and so looking for shortcuts with every single little nuance of living a regular ass life that they're willing to shortcut just basic language. Like, I mean, when was the last time you completed a sentence? I complete them every day, punctuation and all. Yeah. There's no need to short form or shorthand it because it really doesn't take that much effort to complete a sentence. It doesn't. And that's something real simple. Real simple. I'll go into the kitchen and make something to eat. Okay? And clean up after myself and vacuum when I need to and shower every day and not let trash pile up and not get into it with the neighbors or not get into it with a random person on the street just to oh my god, I need to be important in this Walmart right now because it was supposed to be on sale and now I'm here and it's not. Like, what? Throwing look, I'm not out. I don't consider this to be a tantrum. It's more of a rant. It's a frustrated rant because you watch enough reaction content or people reporting on different things and you have to stop yourself at some point and say, why the fuck am I listening to this dickhead? Huh? How is the guy that abuses animals on stream still platformed? That's insane work to me. It's insane. I don't understand how in the world anyone with any sort of self-respect and common sense would ever end up in that sphere to begin with. It's beyond comprehension, really. And look, I'm already talking blue in the face. I've been ranting straight for about 17 minutes now, and I absolutely cannot stand this trite nonsense that has been infecting us for, I mean, basically ever since content creation as like I guess a lifestyle choice became more of a prevalent thing. Okay? There's endless amounts of content. You would need 1,000 lifetimes to consume it all. And oh my God, heaven help you if you try. Because man, oh man, the brain rot at the end of that I mean, I don't have the vocabulary to describe what something like that might even look like. I have no idea. But the real basic fact of the matter is that you can have your content, enjoy your content how you want for the most part, but for fuck's sake, do not let any of these dickheads try to convince you that 2 plus 2 is Apple. Okay? Wrong. Nope. Skip. Don't get your lifestyle choices or advice from people that don't know any struggle, that have faced no adversity. And the biggest issue that they've run into is somebody on the internet said so mean about me. They called me an idiot. Oh, shit. You know, there was a time in my life, just for some context, where I'm working full time. And then I'm also going to the gym on my off time and working out and training with a buddy of mine. Well, a few people. But I end up injuring myself. I break my foot. I have a broken foot with no medical insurance. So what do? Very simply, I wrap up my fractured foot as tight as I can, hobble myself back to my car, do some real basic stuff, just keep my foot wrapped up, and I continue going to work for 2 months on a broken foot, driving through traffic, walking around, going on construction sites. I wasn't a construction worker, I was just on sites. But regardless of the point, I didn't take a single day off from work and was going to and from work on my broken foot. And that was just, that's just what you do. I wasn't complaining about it, whining, bitching, pissing, and moaning every single step. Ow, owie, ow. No, no. Because I had bills to pay. I had living paycheck to paycheck. You just do what you've got to do, and that's the end of it. You don't have time to sit around and fucking whine about it in front of your microphone while the subs are pouring in. Fuck you. You know? I've got to beat the rush hour traffic in the morning. I've got to get my ass up and get ready, you know? Eat my ham sandwich during lunch. Wahoo. Wahoo for me. But this is the kind of perspective, the everyman perspective, that a lot of people can relate to, because whether you like it or not, these are 1%er people that you're glorifying, giving your hard-earned paycheck to paycheck money to, a little sliver of it, so they can just turn around and flex it right back in your face. Knock it off, folks. Don't listen to these people. Don't give them the viewership. Instead, find people that are actually on your level. Not people, like, you want to believe in the aspiration and the veneer that they put up in front of you. You want to believe that because you're in their community, then by extension, by proxy, that suddenly you're now living a lavish and luxurious lifestyle. You're vicariously trying to be part of the equation with your $5 sub or your tiny donation. Thanks for the biddies. Oh, skip. Don't give into it, folks. Don't give into it. Have some self-respect and some dignity. And let these children throw their own tantrums into a void. Okay? Follow people that have meaning. Follow people that stand for something, that have some understanding and relatability to you. Not to your own self-made fantasy. Do not let the main characters pretend like they actually are one. Okay? Please. Can we take back some self-respect for the sake of humanity and the generations to come? I cannot imagine, as a man in my 40s right now, living the life that I lived up to this point. Yes, I'm an old curmudgeon, but I also still have a well-reasoned head on my shoulders. Okay? I could grift. I could manipulate and scam people. Create a veneer, multiple characters and channels, catering to a different demographic or a different grift, but I don't. I can't. I'm a poor salesman in that regard, and that's okay. I'll stay broke, but at least I'll be happier. Or at least I'll know what happiness actually feels like, because I know that I'm not being manipulated by these absolute degenerate fucking scums. Alright? They're terrible. And despite being pretty on camera and well lit and plenty of makeup to, enhance the veneer, what a Photoshop filter. Crazy work. Instead of all that, let's go back to basics a little bit. First of all, well, I mean, I have a lot of ideas, okay? I'm not making it a political thing. I don't want it to turn that way, even though the absolute insufferable nature of what we currently are experiencing will inevitably have this backfire in my face and clip me out of context. That old chestnut. Wow, amazing. Never seen it before. Here's the receipt. Here's what I actually said, uncut and unedited. Wow, amazing. Looks like you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Generate those headlines, man. AI slop contenter. Ooh, shit. How in the world did I end up sitting here doing a 25-minute fucking straight rant about the state of content creation as a whole? How in the world did we get here? Oh, well, you know, sometimes people need to get something off their chest, I suppose. And, you know, realistically, all I was trying to do is make some B-roll. Some Vostok B-roll. That's really why Vostok has been the backdrop this entire time, because that's basically what I was aiming to do. I had watched a few things while I was doing other stuff, and I felt the need to turn on my own microphone and just lay it out pretty simply. Yeah, it took 20 fucking 6 minutes so far to get to this point, and I could probably spend another 26 explaining and reiterating it in many different ways and going off on every tangent in the universe. But I think everything that I wanted to say has already been said and does not necessarily need to be repeated or reiterated. If people need clarification, I'll be happy to clarify anything. But holy shit, can we just ooh, can we take a breath, take a step back and reevaluate things a little bit? Just a little bit. And you might realize that, wait a minute, my 48-month sub to Pokimane has just left me, you know, angry and annoyed. Wow. What a great quote-unquote investment. I'll leave it like this. I don't get fooled by somebody being pretty. I don't equate somebody being pretty to validating what they think or trying to justify the actions that they take. That's just as fake as the makeup that they lather onto their faces. Okay? The point is that what you look like and how you act and what you say are very different things, and they are separate from one another. They're not measured in even the same categories. They're not. Stop being fooled by the pretty faces and being willing to listen to whatever goon tent that you're into. Okay? I mean, not kink shaming, but when a pretty person says something stupid, they get uglier to me. They get less attractive. That's just me, though. Okay? Attraction is something that is a little bit more metaphysical to me, personally. It has a little bit to do with how they think, how they act, how they treat people. And if they don't have basic human decency, common sense, and respect, then they will be the ugliest person in the world. Yeah, to me. It's a pretty simple equation in my mind. Okay, I've ranted enough about this. It was a good rant. It felt good. What I'm gonna do with this will to be determined. After I clean up the audio and remove all my peaks, and hopefully I don't have too many instances of sibilance in the recording. But either way, stop platforming these bozos, please. Have some dignity. Get off the hype train because the tracks are heading straight to a brick wall. You don't want to vicariously live through a train wreck. All right. Stay safe. Be good. Wake up. Take some of your own self-respect back. All right, I'm out.